How did Queen Esther die? How did Queen Esther die? When we delve into the annals of history, especially when dealing with figures from the distant past, there is a certain allure that surrounds them. One such intriguing character is Queen Esther of Persia, a Jewish queen who lived in the 5th century BC. We know of her life, her bravery, and her influence, but one question continues to intrigue us. What did Queen Esther look like? As we embark on this exciting quest, we'll consider historical descriptions, artistic representations, cultural norms, and much more. How did Queen Esther die? How did Queen Esther die? The Bible does not provide explicit information about how Queen Esther died, and there is no specific account of her death in biblical scriptures. Therefore, suggestions about how Queen Esther died are largely speculative and not based on direct biblical evidence. Nevertheless, here are some points on this topic. No biblical record. The Book of Esther, which tells the story of Esther's life and her role in saving the Jewish people, does not mention the circumstances of her death. Historical records. There are no known historical records or accounts from the time period that provide details about Queen Esther's death. Traditions and legends. Some traditions and legends from Jewish and extra-biblical sources suggest various scenarios for Esther's death. These include ideas that she may have died of old age, illness, or even martyrdom for her faith. Legacy. Regardless of the circumstances of her death, Queen Esther's legacy lives on through the biblical account and the celebration of the holiday of Purim, which commemorates the events of the Book of Esther. Spiritual impact. Queen Esther's courage, faith, and willingness to risk her life to save her people have made her a revered figure in Jewish tradition and an inspiration for many. In summary, the Bible does not provide information about how Queen Esther died, and any suggestions or accounts are often based on later traditions and legends rather than direct biblical sources. Queen Esther's significance lies in her role in the biblical narrative and her enduring impact on Jewish and Christian faith traditions. What did Queen Esther look like? Appearance through historical accounts. The Bible, our primary historical account of Queen Esther, doesn't go into detail about her physical features. Rather, it emphasizes her charm and beauty, qualities that won King Ahasuerus' heart. With the lack of detailed descriptions, it leads us to infer and speculate. What did Queen Esther look like? Likely, she adhered to the beauty standards of her era, which prized a certain form and figure that we will explore in the next section. Beauty standards of the Persian Empire. If we want to guess what Queen Esther looked like, understanding the beauty standards of her time and place is key. The Persian Empire prized physical beauty, but their standards might not align with ours. Women of high status, like Queen Esther, were expected to have full, shapely bodies as signs of wealth and health. They also favored light skin, possibly accentuated with cosmetics. The role of cosmetics in Esther's appearance. In Esther 2:12, the Bible tells us that women who were to appear before the king underwent 12 months of beauty treatments, 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 with perfumes and cosmetics. This suggests that Esther may have used cosmetics to enhance her beauty, following the practices of Persian women of her time. Esther in artistic representations. Artistic portrayals throughout history as a central character in one of the Bible's most dramatic stories. Queen Esther has inspired countless artists. Many of these depictions are influenced by the artist's cultural context, giving us a wide array of interpretations. Western interpretations of Queen Esther. Western artists have generally depicted Esther with fair skin and hair, reflecting their own society's beauty ideals. These portrayals, while evocative and stunning, may not be historically accurate due to their Eurocentric bias. Jewish interpretations of Queen Esther. In Jewish art, Esther is often depicted with typical Semitic features: dark hair, olive skin, and almond-shaped eyes. These representations probably come closest to what Queen Esther might have looked like, considering her Jewish heritage. Esther's royal attire. Esther requests. Esther was a queen, and her attire would have reflected her status. She likely wore elaborate, richly embroidered robes and an impressive array of jewelry, such as necklaces, bracelets, and earrings made of gold and precious stones. Esther's hair and headdress. Esther's hair was probably styled according to the prevailing fashions of her time. This would have included intricate braids adorned with gold threads, ribbons, or jewels. In addition, as a queen, she likely wore a headdress, possibly made of precious metals and gems. The story of Queen Esther from the Bible is a story of courage, resilience, and faith. The story follows Esther as she is chosen to be the queen of the Persian Empire and how she works to save her people, the Jews, from certain destruction. Esther's story has been captured in the Book of Esther, which is part of the Jewish Bible, the Tanakh. Father, grandfather, minister, missionary, deacon, elder, author, welcome to our family. View all posts.